All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Sunsetti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. Yeah, let me make sure I get this. Yeah, we good. We're in the house. That's right, family. We're excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Sunsetti YouTube page. We got a dynamic page over here. You already know this. If you don't believe it, just wait around and guarantee you we gonna prove it to you. You see what I'm saying? We got a dynamic we offer, especially in the Black Power community, African-centered culture. We on that gas, that blueprint for global African supremacy. And so that's the platform over here. You see what I'm saying? And so most definitely click the link. What'll happen? You'll get a introduction video to the memberships for different levels to the membership, accessible for everybody. You see, we may, there's room for everybody on the ship. You see what I'm saying? And so check out the membership, and if you can't get it now, right now at this time, that's okay. You still welcome to come over to Sarah Sunsetti's page and get that work, you family, and we appreciate you coming over. That's right. General Setti, keep it leaping on Ticket Leap. We keep it leaping on Ticket Leap. That's right. We got some powerful lineups this Saturday. Legacy of the Holy Mother Civilization going down Saturday, May 13th, starting at 1 p.m. You already know we come in with all the jewels and gems and history and legacy of the Holy Mother, Black Mother Civilization. You see what I'm saying? I can't wait. I'm going to stay up a little late tonight, just putting some more of that work together. So click that link, and we'll have a preview probably tomorrow. We'll have a preview tomorrow to show you exactly what we're going to be highlighting, and I know that's going to be a powerful preview. You see, we also got In the Queue, the sacred Black art of alchemy, the divinity of blackness codified in language. That one going down May 28th. You can get that right now too. And be on deck. You already know I'm coming with all the smoke. You see what I'm saying for both of them. So stay in tune. General Setti again, leaping on Ticket Leap. Going over there, check me out, get your ticket, and be front row and center. Ring the alarm, KingSetti.com, online marketplace. You already know what it is. The classic, we got the classic and Jurassic DVD lectures, t-shirts and hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry. You see these powerful new t-shirts, tank tops for the kings and the queen. We got 30 new t-shirts, and probably gonna have some more tomorrow. So you should get on over there, check it out. We got the tank tops too, and we got the shirts for the queens. You ain't got to wear a man's shirt. You understand? You got the queen cut. So get on over there and get you some of them fly fabrics that Setti wear for the summer. Then we got the African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, and a home decor accessories for every room in the house. KingSetti.com. Pull the fire alarm, GeneralSetti.com, Setti University. Get your behind in class today. Class is now in session. Over 1,000 videos on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building, advanced African academics, developing the Black nation one lesson at a time. The complete General Sarah Sunsetti website with video libraries and catalogs of all the subjects that you know and love, that's been taught down through the years by the general. The making of the white man, when Egypt ruled the earth, God deception, Olmec voyages of the Nile, from Naga to Nigga, mother of civilization. We got all those subjects under video library and catalog, where you got tons and tons of subjects that are dealt with under such a powerful subject like that. You see what I'm saying? So get on over there, GeneralSetti.com. You cannot go wrong. Setti keep it popping on Patreon. BPC making noise. We never calm. We just dropped tonight Egyptian astrological origins of Jacob and the 12 tribes. Had to update that, and we got another powerful presentation. We're gonna take it a step further tomorrow. So you should be on Patreon. You get to see the general live. You see what I'm saying? And of course, I'm gonna come with them extra. I'm gonna come with the hot sauce. I'm gonna bring a lot extra to Patreon. You see what I'm saying? Because YouTube get the crime, so you can't put everything on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? If you want to go up another level, go up another level. If you want the hot sauce. And so we'll also have Champellion and the false teachings of the Medunetta. We'll be having one class per week, 12 classes. You should most definitely be in the house. You see, if you want that smoke, we dropped Cleopatra, Netflix controversy exposed. It's fire. I put a lot of work in that. You see what I'm saying? So you most definitely will be inspired. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share with your family and friends and comment, comment, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. You'll be up out of here. Now let's get off into a very powerful, powerful presentation for the night. Where is the ancient Egyptians having located proof of their southern origins? You see, okay, brother. I'm trying to get it together too. Believe that, family. I'm trying to get it together. That's right. Yeah. And so let's deal with it because in that you're gonna find, the origin of our people. That's why, people, you got to look at this, family. We got some power. Our ancestors knew what they was doing. You see, they knew what they was doing. They left it here for us. You see, they left it here for us. In the codes, and you understand what I'm saying? But you got to have one that's going to show you the code. You see, now it's ironic to me, when you look at Newt, and you look at Newt, and you see the goddess Newt as heaven. She's heaven. You see, and you see Shu, God of air, atmosphere, separating the heavens, and so we look at the arch, and this is where the Freemasons get the arch degree. You see, a lot of people didn't know that, but that's where they got the arch degree. Matter of fact, let me throw something in there. I got it in there. But while I'm here, let me just go and throw something in there. Let me go and throw something in there. You see, arch degree. See, they stay still. You see, yeah, they call it the Royal Arch. You see, so that's the hidden worship of the African goddess in Freemasonry. You understand what I'm saying? They call it the Royal Arch degree. Yeah, I got something even better than that. You see, but you see it right there, the Royal Arch certificate. You see, and so this is their way of hiding, our history into they and so here you go. Let me drop that on in there. Let me drop that on in there. I like grabbing a couple of gems and jewels. Matter of fact, I ain't never seen this one. I ain't never seen that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see right there, Royal Arch Masons. And so they got that from the Egyptian mystery system. You see what I'm saying? In veneration of the Holy Mother of creation, a universe, God is new. You see, who is also, that's the anthropomorphic. You see, you got, but the zoomorphic form of that same God is Heru. So you got a zoomorphic. You see the stars. You see the stars in her stomach. You see what I'm saying? And you can easily see. Matter of fact, let me get that out of here. I'm done with that. You see the stars in her belly, and you see the ark. You see the ark of Ra. You see sailing across the celestial Nile. So you'll also see within Nut is the celestial Nile. You see, that's the holy waters of creation. You see, and so the solar mythos was used as the design for our own spiritual salvation, where we would transverse no different than the sun, where we would take to the ark and sail across the celestial Nile to be one with the Holy Mother and the Holy Father in heaven. But see, we got to know what heaven is. You see, according to our ancestors, yes, heaven is within. But we're talking about from a astrological standpoint, our ancestor also understood that there was an astrological, cosmological heaven up there too, in dealing with creation. You see what I'm saying? That, just no different than the sun had returned to the Holy Mother to be reborn the next day. You see what I'm saying? To be reborn the next day. You see that we also being sons and daughters of the sun. We in essence, we are of the sun. We are of the cosmic melanin too. We are, as I've always said, we are creation made flesh. You see, so we all aspects of creation is in us, including the sun. That's why you see we can't live without it. We can't live without it because we one with it. That's why. If you one with it, you cannot live without it. You see, we cannot live without water. Can't live without it because we one with it. You see, we can't live without this earth. You see, we ain't walking on no stardust. We walking on the earth. And so we one with the earth. Everything we eat is grown from the earth. Even the trees, you see, even the trees that provide for us the air. So all of that is in us. And that's why we need it. We need all the elements in creation to survive and to exist. You see? And so you see the cosmos, you see Nut, and you see as the anthropomorphic in the human form. Well, cosmologically, it's still anthropomorphic, but it's cosmological because our set is the human representation of Nut and Hathor. And so many of these goddesses, they all represent the Holy Black Mother. You see, they all, they just different aspects. They're just like Voltron. They come apart, but then they all come together. You see what I'm saying? And they all form the one. You see many that come together to form the one, the Voltron. You see, that's a way of explaining that. But see, when you look at the scientific layout, and then you go to the stars, they knew exactly what it was. You see, it is the Milky Way. It is designed so they knew exactly that what they were, that was heaven. The Milky Way is the center of the galaxy. See, a lot of people got to see, that's the one thing about the South, the Southern Hemisphere. The Southern Hemisphere is the center of the galaxy. You see, and when I was teaching this, they wasn't even, they didn't expand it because they've been watching. They've been watching. You see, they've been watching, and a lot of people think that they reading some goddamn glyphs. No, they reading us. They wait for us to make our spiritual connections and manifest our spiritual thoughts on what we see. And then they come and steal. You see what I'm saying? And so our ancestors already knew that the Milky Way was the center of the galaxy. because when I started doing my, my teachings, I still got this is one of the very first slides I ever created, and I still got it. Well, I show, and I have to see if I can get full, uh, you know, uh, being able, because this is a lecture program, and I don't know if it's gonna don't let me go into full operation on it where I can show all the, you know what I'm saying, to show all the toys, and the animation, and you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna work on it so I'm able to do that. You see, and so you can see right there, you seeing Ra as the son, you know, being reborn every day through uh his mother. You see God is new, and you can see in her clothing, you see water, which I'm gonna show you, which is the celestial now. Matter of fact, it's down here. Where is that? Matter of fact, where is that? I had it in here. You know what? I might have put it in the other one, which I hope I didn't do. Here you go. Here you go, right here. Here you go. So you see the symbols of water. You see, and you see, and so and you see the arcs. You see, this is where you get the Ark of the Covenant and all that, and this, that, and the third, which I'm gonna get on that. I was gonna do that yesterday, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. You see, this is where you get the arcs. You see the Ark of Ra. You see the well, that's the bull up there. You see what I'm saying? So you see all the deities, sailing across the celestial now in heaven. And many of them are symbolic of constellations, and in certain stars, very important stars to our African people. You see, but what we have to understand, and uh this is where you get the Miss Universe. You see, let me get that out of there. Let me get that out of there. All right, we got a new member in the house. That's right. Yeah, we got a new member in the house. That's what's that, Alex. Okay, Alexis. Oh no, that's what I'm talking about, Alex. I should stop that. I didn't see that. Is that Alexis? Okay. Okay. I'm talking about. I looked down. I didn't see the Z. I had to pronounce that right. I'm out of pocket. But we got a new member in the house. Okay, and so this is where you get Miss Universe. This is where you get Miss Universe. You get the Arch degree. Okay, you get that from Goddess New, who was the first Miss Universe. You see, the first Miss Universe. Okay, and so now when you understand the spirituality of it, and the science of it, you see that the now is connected to the Milky Way, the celestial now. To our ancestor, it was one river. You see what I'm saying? Because when you start to sail to the south, you see, you start going up in the highlands. You see, that's why when you look to the south, they say Tanetaru. You see the Taneta. You see, that mean you going but listen, we know about the Madunetta. We'll deal with that. You see what I'm saying? But there's science that we don't need that to get this understanding. You see what I'm saying? So when you talk about the South, was considered the lands of the gods and goddesses. You see? And so that's very significant. And so as you start to go up the Nile, you see, as you start to go up the Nile, you start going into the highlands. You see, now when you start going you start going up into Ethiopia and Kenya, you start going up into the mountains. You see what I'm saying? You start going up into the mountains. And so that's an extension of the heavens. You see, they look at that as an extension of the heavens. And so even when you're looking at the pyramid, you see the pyramids is only the volcanoes in the southern regions. You see a lot of them southern, you got a lot of them volcanoes, and even in Ethiopia where they're dormant. They're not, I don't believe a lot of them, some of them are still active. You see what I'm saying? So when you go up into the highlands of Central East Africa, and even South Africa is higher in you see latitude. You see what I'm saying? And then the northern regions of Africa. You see, so again, when you start to go up into the mountain regions, you start to go up into the highlands, which is looked at as an extension of the heavens. Okay, and so we understand that one of the constellations of Orion was very sacred to our people, and Sirius, and the southern hemisphere. You can see all of them areas, all of them constellations. They're more visible in the southern hemisphere than they are in the northern hemisphere. You see what I'm saying? They're more visible. And so again, when you look to the south, you look into the center of where this galaxy came from. You see what I'm saying? You looking at the source of creation when you look to the south. And so you know that our people was oriented to the south. Okay, our people was oriented to the south. Okay, and so and you also understand when you looking at you're also looking at in one aspect the protractor. You see where and when you look at the protractor, all you see the rising sun down there. You see, so you're looking at the birth of the sun when you look at the protractor. You see, that's the arch also. So you're dealing with divine mathematics. Now, if you look at the protractor and you come down straight down to 90 degree, and you come across the 0 degree, you see the right angle. You see the right angle in there. You see, and so you also see Ma'at. You also see Aset. You see, because Aset is the throne, and so when you look at the throne, you see the right angle. You see the right angle in there. You see, so that's where the kings ruled in righteousness and what was right. Then so that's where you get the Mason when they talk about on the square. You see, because the right angle is the square. So that's divine mathematics when you look at Nu as the arch degree. So within the protractor, you see the arch and the square. You see the arch and the square in there. And so you understand that mathematics is also ma'at. And when you start dealing with mathematics, you're dealing with an exact science, which is truth. And when you understand that math is also statistics, and you see, and you understand the divine laws of creation, you can add up situations before they even manifest. You could tell, you can almost, you can through mathematics, you can what's the word I'm looking for? You can look into the future almost. You can I come up with the word, but through the relationships of entities and the laws, that divine laws that have been bestowed upon these entities, knowing the nature of a thing. You see, when you understand the nature of a thing, you can predict. That's the word. You can predict the outcome. You see, based on that nature. You see, and on your nature, you got some statistics. So you're not without the ability you see, to predict, you know, positive results and negative results. You see, a lot of this shit you done been in so many times, and you done tried so much the same shit over and over and over. You have statistics, divine statistics, that gonna tell you what the outcome gonna be. And so when you put yourself in that equation and you knowing already, you know the equation, and you can fill in, you know, what the outcomes is going to be. You already know before you even engage in that, you know, that equation, what the answer is going to be. You're not stupid. So that's also mathematics. That's also my eye. You see what I'm saying? And so you also dealing with, you know, you also dealing with architecture. You see, when you're dealing with that arch, you see, when you're dealing with that arch, you see right there, you see right there the key brick. You see, you got all that in there. You see, you got the striking. So this is divine, even the architecture. It's key. It's an exact science. If you don't have this, you know, you don't got it, you know, mathematically correct, architecturally correct, that shit collapsing in. And so you got to have it. You have to have, you know, you got to be on point on everything that you do. You got to be on the square. And so as you see the sun, you know, transverse, you know, just like you see many of the other constellations, and you know, the sun also traveled. That's why you see Ra. You see Ra on, you know, this happened to be Osiris or Sa, you know, on his ark. You see, and then here you see Ra. You see Ra on the ark, and he's sailing across the celestial now. You see, but our souls would take that same journey, because you see Khufu's boat. You see Khufu's boat, and you see him, you know, his spirit would take to the ark too. All the pharaohs would take to the ark, and they would sail up the celestial Nile into the Milky Way to be one with the Holy Mother and Father Isis and Osiris in a mentor, which they call heaven. You see, you know, which you call a mentor. So our ancestors look to the south. Now, even in the Quran, it says in 20 it's Surah 20 ayat 88. Then he produced for them a calf of saffron hue. What's that? Right there, gold, saffron hue, a calf of which gave forth a lowing sound, and they cried, "This is your God and the God of Moses, but he hath forgotten." You see, he hath forgotten. So that just show you right there. Yeah, they show you right there that they was worshiping. You see, they was worshiping African gods long before, you know, and a lot of them are astrological. And so this is where you get there. When you see the golden calf, that's what they're talking about. You understand? This is a astrological story. You see what I'm saying? That, you know, and Moses came down, and, you know, he trying to break the people, because he coming with religion. He trying to come with a religion to break them. And I'm going to show you right here before we, wait a minute, let me show you. Let me break it down, because I'm gonna deal on this one heavier tomorrow. You see, when you go to this one right here, this one what cracked their head right here. It says, now this is Joshua 24, 14. Now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt. Which, so that showed you, see, that's something very critical, because they say that Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, but they do not teach that the rest of the Hebrews also worship African gods when they was in Egypt. It wasn't just Moses. It wasn't just Moses. I'm gonna show you one more again so you understand. Now, therefore, fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt. So they serve gods. That means that they practice African religion when they was, so they couldn't be ignorant of these things that we teaching. You see what I'm saying? So when they went and they started their new religion, of course, that they took from the African religion, the astrological, and they hid it in these mythological stories. Y'all got to understand, they just mythological stories to hide the truth. You see, now in Ezekiel, in 8:16, it says, then he brought me into the, now this is Solomon's temple, okay? Then he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, Solomon temple, and behold, at the entrance to the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs to the temple of the Lord and their faces towards the east. And they were prostrating themselves eastward to the sun. You see, to the sun. So that right there is proof positive that they was worshiping as they had learned in Africa. You see what I'm saying? That's where they learned it from. And we'll go over it one more time because, see, these niggas have forgotten when they keep talking to these Hebrew Israelite niggas and all that. And then he produced for them a calf of saffron hue, which gave forth a lowing sound, and they cried. This is what they said. This is what they said. This is your God and the God of Moses, but he have forgotten. They letting him know, you nigga, this is the God that you was worshiping before any of them. Yeah. Yeah. But any of them, but you know what I'm saying? But the sun, but again, you know what I'm saying? We have to understand that, you know, to the south, the east is where the sun rises, but to the south is where creation of this galaxy began. So, you know, that's why when we, you know, when you think about you know, we in the north and you know the Africans went, you know, based on this the southern hemisphere. You see, you know, because they came from the southern hemisphere. And so the crazy thing about it now, they got the laser beams that shoot right to the center of the galaxy now. You see, they can shoot right there to the center of the galaxy, and they showing, you know, they showing that, you know, where the sun was born. You see, you know, out there, it's a black hole. It's a black hole sitting right there in the center of the Milky Way. It's up in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I had to get him, but it's right up, and that's the center. You see, right up there in the center, and that's where the sun was born. That's where this galaxy was born. And so they call it, it's a bulge sitting in. You see, our sun is way over here, but it's a bulge in there. And that's where the center of the galaxy is located. So when you look to the south, when you look to the south, you see, and this is what our ancestors, they was astral projecting, and that's what I mean. In their mind, that's where you got what they call the Sir Dabs, and where the spirit of the statues of the pharaohs, and they was in a outside of many of their temples, they had a small Sir Dab, and it'll have a statue of a likeness of the pharaoh inside, with just a little hole, where the spirit could astral project. You understand what I'm saying? Into into Orion, this constellation of Orion. You see, and so and I'll show you that tomorrow. I don't have it in here, right? I may have it. I may have it. Where is that at? But if not, I'm gonna get into this one a little deep, because it's a lot of information in here. It's a lot of information, and I could what I'm saying, I'm gonna tighten it up and find a couple of more gems, in there. But anyway, you can see the car, you understand what I'm saying, astral projecting is his spirit into the heavens. He was one with the heavens. You see what I'm saying? So when you see, this is orientation. If nothing else, you see the orientation of where our ancestors, and this was the star of Isis. You see what I'm saying? This was the star of Isis. You see what they call Sirius. And so, and that's saying, and so they, they was oriented to the south. And when you look and you see here again, you see where Orion, you see the Milky Way, you see Orion, and you see what? To the south. And you see the Nile, and it connects to the Milky Way. And so you sail down the Nile into the Milky Way to be one with the Holy Mother and Father in Orion, Sirius. And also you see Sirius and you see the Milky Way is nothing more than Hathor knew the Holy Mother. And that's where you get, that's where you get the Milky Way from Hathor. You see the Holy Mother cow. And you see on the walls, you see Isis and you see the star of Sirius above her head. And many of the other goddesses of today are reincarnations, like Yemiya is a reincarnation of Isis. You see, is a reincarnation of Isis. And so we want to align ourselves with our ancestors. We want to align ourselves with our ancestors. We don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? We want to project ourselves where our ancestors, projected themselves so we can be one with our ancestors. Nigga, y'all niggas projecting where y'all going. Y'all want to go see Ronald Reagan and goddamn George Bush. And you understand what I'm saying? And these other, you understand, you want to go with the Cro-Magnon. So when you show up to the pearly gate and they say, what's your name, nigga? You're going to say Leroy. They gonna say Lee, nigga gonna say Leroy is Lee, and let me see, and Ronald Reagan gonna look on there, he gonna say Leroy. He gonna look over at George Bush and he gonna say, man, you think there's some Leroys on this motherfucker? He say, ain't no Leroy on this motherfucker. Let me look on here and let me see if it's a goddamn Leroy on here. Ain't no motherfucking Leroy on here. Get your bitch ass up out of here, nigga. Ain't no Leroy on here, nigga. And so we got to look to the south. We got to orient ourselves. That's real talk. You see, if he got the key to the gate, you ain't gonna never get in. The only key they ever opened up a goddamn door was to the goddamn prison. That's the only key you could do. That's the only gate gonna open up for your ass. So you better wake up out of there and project yourself in the heaven where your ancestors projected themselves. This is the General Sarah Soon said. He said, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.